In my hands right here is the brand new Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid. Now I don't get a lot of opportunity to test hybrids on this channel, but as someone who loves hybrids and fairway woods to just make golf a little bit easier as an average swing speed mid-handicap golfer, I'm desperate to give this one a test to see how it performs in my hands and see if it's as easy to launch as Wilson are telling us it will be. Let's find out. Right, before we start hitting shots, I just want to tell you a little bit about the technology and the construction in this Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid. Now, starting with the technology, there's a couple of key things to call out. First of all, Wilson tell us that they've changed the shape of the toe part of this hybrid versus the previous iteration, and that's to allow them to make this hybrid more forgiving on those toe strikes and ultimately make the club a more forgiving hybrid overall. Like lots of the brands, Wilson are using AI technology to help them in terms of making the sweet spot on their face a little bit larger, and they've got that technology, their PKR-360 in this version of the hybrid, and they're saying that combined with their new forged face is allowing them to maximize the ball speeds all across the face, including on those off-center hits. The other thing they talk about in terms of technology is how they've been able to lower and more evenly distribute the center of gravity across this hybrid, again to try and make it higher launching and more forgiving all the way across the face. Now, in terms of looks, I must admit, I think this hybrid is absolutely stunning. When you put it down here at address, you get that high gloss crown with that little flash of red on the heel and that DYNAPWR logo. The one thing that I really love though is just those little bits of white infill on the heel and the toe side. When you put it down here at address, it just looks like there is a lot of loft on this hybrid, and that inspires a lot of confidence that you don't have to worry about hanging back to help this in the air. You can just hit down on it and let it do its thing. And how that all combines with this stock red Denali shaft just looks like an overall stunning package. Finally, when you flip it over and look at the sole of the club, you've got that Wilson logo, the new Wilson shield, the DYNAPWR reference, and these two little rails that will help with turf interaction. Overall, it's a stunning looking package. The final thing we need to talk about is the price point of this club as well. At £199, it's £70 to £100 cheaper than all of the big brand hybrids released in 2025. So if this hybrid looks as good as it looks and performs as good as I hope it will perform, and it has that price point, it has to be a serious contender for going people's golf bags. So let's go and put it to its test, through its paces, and see how it performs in my hands, and let's hit some shots. Apart from the fact that I've pulled the rubbish out of it, it's a very nice sound off of the face as well. And it's delivering numbers exactly where I'd expect them to be based on what I hit with my own 4 hybrid, which is all I can compare against for benchmarking purposes today. But 195 yards on a pull that's gone with 126 of ball speed, spinning at 3.3, still reached 73 feet of peak height. They are some good numbers for me first out the gate with a club I've just picked up for the very first time. Now, if you've watched my channel for some time, you'll know at the top end of the bag, massively a lover of ping. You can't swing it, ping it. They make things really easy to hit. So if I can get some numbers out of this in quite a quick data set that are comparable, we'd have to say that's a really impressive thing for the Wilson to deliver on. That's beautiful. Oh, that's really nice. It's just a couple of yard draw onto target. If those numbers are good, it's very impressive. Yeah, look at that, 195 of carry, spinning at just under 3,000 for me with 124 of ball speed. Got to 80 feet of peak height in the air with a 3 hybrid. Now the reason why I go to fairway woods in 5 and 7 instead of gaming a 3 hybrid is I just don't feel like I can get them up in the air enough, but that felt like I had a really penetrating ball flight and still delivered 80 feet of peak height. That's unbelievable launch. Now I've hit a little cutty one there, which is why it's launched up, but I'd be surprised if that's not 90 feet in the air. It's unbelievably easy to get into the air, this thing. 94 feet. It's a cut and it's still gone 193. We've lost 2 yards versus the straight one. Still gone out to 208 yards. The ball speed was up there. And the interesting thing out of this is I've hit 3 or 4 in a row and they feel like they're really middled strikes based on those impact locations. Now, those of you again that follow my channel for some time, whenever I test Wilson, Cobra, Cleveland, because they are the value offering, I really am a price conscious consumer. I want to hope that these things deliver good numbers. I really do come into the bay enthusiastic that we're going to get some outstanding performance out of these clubs. And I can say to you guys, save your money, buy one of these. This is the cheapest hybrid on the market right now that's brand new from all of the big brands. And it's delivering numbers like that. And I've only had it for 5 or 6 shots in my hand. And it looks stunning. Why wouldn't you consider it? That's just my view right now. Now that'll be an interesting one because I've just caught that a little bit heavy and I've hit the slight pull draw with it. So we'll see how much of a drop off we get. Not a lot, but I'm not sure if TrackMan's picked that one up properly because the numbers are a little bit smaller. That normally means it's a slight bit of guesswork from TrackMan. The strike was still good and it has still got out there to 186, which again, if that's a bad one for me, still rolled out to our same distance. Admittedly, I wouldn't want it to pull draw it that much, but yeah. Oh my God. Might be golf shot of the year. I know we're only in February, don't judge me, but that was unreal. 193 of carry. It's a tiny fraction thin, spinning at 4.1, which for a hybrid to spin at 4,000 for me is great. 97 feet of peak height out of a 19-degree hybrid. It just launches and pops up so easy. 127 of ball speed, like that's not far behind my driver ball speed. That I think is a tiny bit toey, maybe a fraction heavy, but it's just drawn round perfectly onto that target. 124 of ball speed, carried at 191, total at 207, spinning at 3.5, 17 degrees of launch, 90 feet, peak height, 42 degrees of land angle. Right, so done hitting shots with the Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid. Now I must admit I don't get a lot of opportunity on this channel to film hybrid reviews, so this is one of the few times that I've tested a hybrid, and I must admit I am seriously impressed in the bay. It looks absolutely stunning, and based on how easy it is to launch and how consistent the numbers are out of it, it really is a contender to go in my golf bag as either an option to take my 5-wood out and play when I'm at a links course or on a windy day, or for the second bag that I'm building to leave with family up in Scotland, because I'm seriously impressed with these numbers. I can't believe how easy it was to launch. That's the key takeaway for me, is just how easy it was to launch. But what we need to do is we need to go home, we need to objectively look at all this data, compare it to a batch of shots I hit with my own hybrid for benchmarking purposes. So let's go and let's do that now. Right, so time to deep dive into the data from that batch of shots. Now, before we do that, when I normally film this part of the video, I try and give you a direct comparison, 7-iron versus 7-iron, driver versus driver. Unfortunately, I don't own a 3 hybrid, so the best comparison I can offer you and the data I captured for benchmarking purposes was with my Ping G430, which is a 4 hybrid, a fraction shorter in length, and also with 3 degrees less loft on it. So we won't be able to do the usual comparison that we do here, but I'll try and call out some of the numbers from the Wilson and how good they were versus what I'd expect them to be. Now, starting on the left-hand side, you'll see that club head speeds and ball speeds were really good with the Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid, and as expected, both were slightly higher than I got from my Ping G430. Interestingly, however, though, the smash factor was just a fraction lower with the Wilson. In terms of strike location, you can see it was really easy for me to deliver quite a centered strike with the Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid. It just felt really nice in my hands. The combination of that Denali shaft with the weighting of the head just felt great and effortless for me to get that centered strike. And as you can see, compared to my own Ping G430, it wasn't maybe as consistent on the day, although it is a smaller data set for benchmarking purposes with the Ping. A spin rate of 3,385 felt like a good number for me with the Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid. For perspective, my optimal driver number is around 2,700 RPM of spin, and I think if I was playing this club, the next one in my bag would be that Ping G430 hybrid, which as you could see came in at 3,772, and therefore the Wilson DYNAPWR is sitting right bang in the middle in terms of those two clubs, and therefore feels like a good number. Where I thought the Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid excelled was that just super impressive ball flight when I was in the bay. As you can see here, both ball flights are almost identical despite the Wilson having 3 degrees less loft. That peak height averaging over 80 feet on average, and with some shots reaching over 90 feet, just felt crazy good in my hands with so little loft. Just to show you the side-on view of my shot trajectory, you can see here as a mid-handicap golfer, I'm not going to hit this consistently every single time, but it does feel like it delivers some really good heights regardless of how good or bad I was hitting those shots. So that combination of those ball speeds, spin rates, and that strong ball flight allowed me to carry the Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid 191.3 yards on average with 209.3 yards of total distance. And I must admit, it felt really easy and effortless to get that distance out of this golf club time and time again. As you can see, they are 7 to 9 yards longer than my own Ping G430 hybrid, and that is just like we would expect to see with that reduction in loft. Final thing to show you is my shot dispersion. Bar that one shot that I pulled massively down the right hand side, I'm pretty happy with the batch of shots that I hit. Again, this is the first time I've picked up this golf club and tested it. I definitely think with a bit more time and a bit more effort on it, I could definitely get this even tighter as I get used to the golf club. So with stunning looks, incredible ease of launching, that all-round package of performance, and a really fantastic price point, the Wilson DYNAPWR hybrid is a really credible option if you're looking for a brand new hybrid in 2025. The Wilson DYNAPWR comes in 2 to 6 hybrid options for right-handed golfers, but only a 3 to 4 hybrid option for left-handed golfers like myself. However, if you are a slower swing speed player, maybe looking to replace some of your longer irons, they do also offer a lighter option in the 4, 5 to 6, which has a lower swing weight and therefore should make it really easy for you to pop the ball in the air and get that effortless distance if you are starting to slow down in terms of your swing speed. So are there any potential drawbacks to this hybrid? Well, I can only think of one at the time of filming this video, and that is there is no adjustable loft sleeve on this hybrid like lots of the other big brands are offering in their current version of the hybrid. So what that does mean is if you pick this up off the rack and the numbers are exactly where you need them to be, you'll absolutely have no issue whatsoever. But if you do need to make that subtle adjustment or subtle tweak, you might not be able to do that, whereas you could with some other hybrid options available on the market today. Now, if you've got some value out of this video and you'd like to return the favour, it's really simple. You've just got to hit that thumbs up button. That lets YouTube know that golfers just like you may be interested in watching my video. Equally, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, hi, I'm Luke, the Weekend Tour Pro. There's a button on screen for you right now. If you press that button, you'll be subscribed to my channel, just like at @GCovey23. He's been following the channel for some time. He's always in the comments section, adding some real good value, and I really do appreciate your ongoing support. Equally, if you've liked this video and you think you might want to watch one more of my videos, a couple of options are popping up on screen for you right now. Press one of those and you'll be taken to it straight away. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.